We are back with our latest edition of SportsAttic with
We
your guy
back.
Trey and yours truly, Rod Guy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to your boys. We enjoy tapping in with y'all, bringing y'all content, all things NBA, all things Dallas Mavericks, Cowboys. And today, we jumped off NBA free agency. I know our group chat blew up, Trey,
Mm-hmm.
and KD jumped it off.
Mm-hmm.
KD jumped it off.
He didn't jump it off.
Who jumped it off? Who jumped it off?
The group chat probably was jumped off probably with the Brunson trade. Is he gonna stay?
Oh, sure. Yeah, there was some news that came out before KD, but KD
that was about 2:00 Dallas time.
Yeah,
3:00 Eastern.
For sure. KD officially jumped off the like it's really going down and really affects the way these signings are gonna happen. So KD,
we'll preface it for the fans.
Yeah, so KD requested a trade. KD is in the midst of a 4-year deal with the Brooklyn Nets. Now, just to give some background on that, KD hasn't come out and said anything yet, obviously. But Kyrie was kind of throwing out there that he was not going to opt in, right? Wasn't going to opt in. He was looking to move. He was looking to go somewhere else. That's the rumors came out. I'm sure that rubbed KD the wrong way. Maybe it didn't. Maybe he talked to Kyrie and was like, hey, I'm cool with leaving too. But I'm going to leave right now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you don't have any suitors that, can get the packages to get you where you want to go. But I'm going to leave right now. Maybe you can holler at me next year. I have no clue. No one has any clue except those guys about their, discussions. But KD said he wants out of Brooklyn. So when you heard that, what were your initial thoughts?
I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I was like, man, this is the best day in sports history. I love free agency, man. I swear to God, the first day, every first day, you just get news after news. You got to turn on your Twitter notifications for Woj and Sham.
Shams go crazy.
Yeah. So you gotta, it's news coming, consistently, constantly. It's just information being flooded, and I love it. But as far as Durant goes, I don't really know how I feel. I don't feel either anyway. Yeah. I guess that would be my answer to your question. I am a KD fan, but he doesn't play for the Mavericks. So if he don't play for the Mavericks, I mean, I enjoy watching you play on Maverick off nights, but I have no feelings on that. But I do think that it's going to shake up the NBA. I think it's going to shake up the the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
I think that this is a good move for Philly. I think this is good for Milwaukee. I think this is good for Miami and Boston. I think it's horrible for New Jersey. But I think that I actually saw, a report that said that, Kyrie and KD still want to play together.
I saw that.
And a shocker is going to be the location that has a package to put together to get both of them on their roster.
Right.
Is the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, if that happens,
I'm assuming you're talking about Russ and AD.
I don't know what the package is going to be.
Like when they said that, I'm like, okay, I got you, AD, cool. But
even if it's Russ and AD,
I guess it's Russ, AD, and you can have the next 20 years of first round picks. You can have them all. You want Magic going?
You know how I feel about AD.
Magic, you going over there too? Yeah,
boy, you can have Jeannie Buss.
Yeah,
you can have Jeannie Buss for.
You want the second rounders too? We don't plan to sign draft nobody else.
You can have Jeannie Buss, Rob Pelinka, and Magic Johnson.
When I saw that, I was like, what? LeBron, Kyrie, and KD, bro. Come on, bro.
Yeah, that's a done deal. But I don't think that that's gonna come into fruition.
David Stern has shown he would have never allowed such a thing. What? No.
He would have Mutombo.
No, yeah, that's cheating. That's cheating. Yeah.
So I don't believe it's gonna actually happen or come to fruition. I saw another report that said KD, preferred to go to Phoenix or Miami as well. Saw another report that said Miami don't have the assets to be able to get a guy like KD because they can't trade Bam because of the specific kind of contract that he's on, which Ben Simmons is on that same kind of contract.
Yeah.
And you can only have one of those kind of guys on your team. So I don't think he'll be able to get to Miami. So I think that Phoenix is a real possibility for him.
Yeah.
You know, the fan in me, the Maverick fan in me wants to believe that we have something that we can put together to match up KD's salary and get him on our team.
They said they want 2 All-Stars, and I heard they said they want, if he going to
They
Phoenix,
want 2 All-Stars. Listen,
they need D Book. They
listen,
need D
Sean
Book.
Marks.
Yeah.
Sean. Sean Marks, is KD worth that? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get that?
I thought you was about to dispute that. I was gonna say, where you going?
No, you're not gonna get that. Who has name a team with 2 All-Stars other than the Lakers? I mean, the Lakers don't even have 2 All-Stars, but they got 2 guys on their team that you can consider or perennial. They got
no team's gonna do it because they trying to pair him with at least one of them.
Who has 2 All-Stars?
I mean, teams
Boston?
have 2 All-Stars, but I don't think they're not willing to give up one of them.
No.
Both of them, not both of them.
Wait, maybe I misunderstood you. Did you just say that Brooklyn is looking for 2 All-Stars in return for Kevin Durant?
Correct.
Okay, so my question to you is, what team has 2 All-Stars?
Was Jaylen an All-Star?
Jaylen who?
Brown.
Oh, I don't know, but I would consider him All-Star level talent. So,
but that's what I'm saying. They're not gonna give him Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. They might give him Jaylen Brown. They'll give him Jaylen Brown, but they're not. Yeah,
you get one or the other and some picks and maybe some other throw-in players, but you're not about to get. What team has 2 All-Stars?
Would you give him if you the Celtics? Would you give him Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
fast.
Me too. Yeah, real quick.
They won't even be. You won't even be done saying the word smart.
Yeah, Marcus Smart. Gone.
Will you take Jaylen Brown and Marcus? Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Without question.
Yeah, I mean, it's no question. I mean, a guy as talented as Kevin Durant.
The Clippers got 2. They didn't play last year, but they got 2 All-Star caliber players.
Okay, so if you're the Clippers, do you trade?
No, they're not. That's what I'm saying. You're gonna want to pair them with one of them for sure. So I get you gotta shoot. You gotta shoot high. I get.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's super unrealistic. Nobody's gonna have 2 All-Stars and give you both of them and start their franchise over.
Right.
No team's gonna do that. Philly's not gonna say, you know what, you can have Embiid and Harden and give us KD. They're not gonna do that. KD's 34 years old.
There are a couple teams. Nah, what's the name?
Now you can have all my picks.
Yeah,
I make the salaries match up.
Yeah,
whatever those are based on whatever team is, and every pick I got for, like you said, the next 20 years, you can have them. They're yours. Every other pick for 10 years, whatever.
You can have them. Can have them.
But I'm not giving up 2 All-Stars. If I'm Boston, I'm not giving up both of those guys for Kevin Durant. As much as I love Kevin Durant,
it's gonna be interesting to see where he shakes down, where he ends up, and how that, the ripple effect from that. Because I think a lot of people are going, that's that tricky game. You know what I mean? You don't want to wait too long, but I think people are trying to see where the dominoes are going to fall, especially organizations, to see, you want to stay liquid and be able to make some moves if KD is interested and if Brooklyn bites. You know what I mean? So that's interesting. And then you got to start seeing players who be like, I ain't waiting. I'm about to go get my bread. And people can strike out. Organizations can definitely strike out. You want to be liquid and be ready for if KD, you got to
Mavericks have done that for years.
Yeah, and they have. And then the people who you really had identified as your targets start going to go get their bread and go elsewhere. So that's going to be an interesting game of tango and chicken to see how that falls out. But that's going to be really, really intriguing to see how this goes.
What's up with Kyrie though, man?
Hey man, I'm not sure he's a different cat, man. I respect it. He stand on what he believes, whether you agree with it or not. He stand on what he believes.
I've always defended Kyrie. Always. I don't have a problem with him thinking differently. That's not my issue. But it's just like he just seems to be a problem, like everywhere. Like when you think about it, in the bubble. Remember in the bubble when Brooklyn was in the bubble, he didn't go to the bubble because I guess health concerns.
Yeah.
But the same guy didn't want to get the vaccine and miss half the season or half the games. So you're on both sides of the boat. It's like you're just looking for problems. I love Kyrie's game. One of my favorite players to watch. I love to see him handle the ball and finish at the rim. But golly, Kyrie, man, this is a team sport, bro. You can't keep treating this as if it's all about you. And I understand it. I swear to God, I understand that you got to look out for Kyrie Irving first. But dude, you're playing a team sport and you're often seen as standoffish. You're often seen as not a team player. You're often seen as a me guy. And you can be all of that. At least act like you're a team guy. Like at least when you talk to the media, act like, hey, all I want to do is win. Even if that's what you believe. Just you have to buy in with it. It's part of your job, man. But
Yeah, I
besides,
mean, Kyrie is definitely a unique, individual. And it's, hey, man, some things that's gonna come with that, and that's gonna be interesting to see the teams who are still willing to, potentially deal with that. I know the whole COVID regulations are different state by state, so maybe that's not an issue with some teams, but it's gonna be interesting, man. And another thing I think about is these forged, put together super teams. I guess an outlier. I mean, come on, when KD went to Golden State, I mean that was already a championship talented roster that he joined, and they won 2 chips. But other than that, outside of if a super team that was forged together, not an organic one, that was hey, we got a new 3-headed monster. No super team has won, if I'm not wrong, that doesn't include LeBron, of the super teams that were forged, not organic, not the Golden State Warriors. We've
well,
seen.
well, does Boston count as a super team?
Um,
Is it one organic
yeah,
when
yeah,
they
yeah,
got
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, for sure. So Boston, but I,
what, what's,
recently,
what's, what super team hasn't won?
I mean, we just saw, the Brooklyn Nets just got blew up.
Okay,
They tried that.
prior to them, anybody? What's
Let me
another
see.
team?
So you had Brooklyn. Would you consider when Paul and Kawhi linked up? That was a super team. They didn't have 3 maybe, but people were saying that was a super team.
And then that's the question. Like, what are the rules to what a super team consists of? Is it two elite players, or like is it like what if you had like LeBron and Luca, like or KD and Luca, like I mean KD and LeBron at their primes, like if those two link up, does that consider a super team, or is it two like just two good stars? Because pretty much
So
every team looks for two stars.
so eventually, I mean, originally I think it was 3 stars. Well, one of the 3 kind of taking the back seat a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So like, that Brooklyn one, the Brooklyn one. But yeah, 2 teams right now, 2 stars is just, kind of what it takes to even contend.
So now, so with saying that, you're
Let me see.
saying that.
Brooklyn. Let me think of someone else. Another team.
So was Brooklyn a super team before Harden and after Harden,
No, I was
or were
talking
they
about with
only a
Harden.
super team
When
with
you join
Harden?
when you join Harden, Kyrie, and KD, that's a super team. And I know they ain't get to play that much.
Right. So
Uh,
two. So we're saying that a super team is a team that has three stars, three
yeah.
stars.
Let me think of another super team.
So
Um,
it's Boston one,
Boston,
Miami one, but that consists of LeBron.
LeBron.
We're not gonna count the Lakers championship as as a super team because they only had two All Stars.
See, I did. So maybe I need to adjust my super team definition, because I did consider AD and LeBron teaming up to be a super
That's why
team.
I asked that question
Yeah.
because yeah.
I did consider that to be a super team, even though they didn't have no like
Man,
third, just
That was LeBron and a bunch of other guys. There's no
LeBron.
super
Then
team.
in
AD ain't
he
good enough to be considered a super player.
he did it in Cleveland
He
with
did what
Kevin.
in Cleveland?
He won.
Oh yeah, but they had three All Stars on that
Yeah,
team.
yeah, yeah.
But I still
Um,
think that was a super team. If you be quite frankly,
I mean, anytime you got Bron, you got a really good head start on a super team.
facts. I mean, so that's what I'm saying. The rules have to change
Yeah,
based on who are the three players or who
yeah,
are the two
sure,
players. That's
sure.
why I use Kevin Durant and LeBron. Because for the past 10 years or the past decade, everybody would consider those two like head and shoulders the one and two.
For
So if
sure.
those two teamed up on a team that didn't have any all stars, we probably consider that a super team,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
But James Harden and Embiid on the same team, I don't consider that a super team.
I don't think that's a super team. They need one more, really significant piece to where I would be like, that's a super team. So yeah, I was just thinking about like these teams that forging together that aren't that successful. We
Nah,
get
I think
we
I
kind of
think
get
that
blown up quick.
I disagree a little bit with you. I mean, I think that sometimes when it just doesn't work out. But like you said, pretty much having 2 to 3 All Stars is the way that you can compete. I
It
mean, if you
seemed
look
like
at
the only way.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you look at the Warriors in the finals this season. They had their best 3 players in Steph, Clay, and Draymond, who've already won multiple championships. I think this is their 4th championship together.
And
Um,
one was a all-star starter.
and one was an All
Outside
Star
outside
starter,
of that,
a #1 overall pick in Andrew Wiggins.
yeah,
Then they had Kaminga, a top 3 overall pick. I think he might have been
they
top 5
they
overall pick.
reinvented themselves nicely.
And when he was in high school, he was considered to be a perfect prospect before reclassifying and joining the G League Ignite.
Yeah,
And then they also have James Wiseman on their roster, who's
yeah,
another #1 overall pick,
mm-hmm,
who doesn't even get burned. So it's about having accumulating talent. So that's
for
whether
sure.
it's top to bottom or really heavy on the top. So I mean, I think that that's just how you compete nowadays. Only one person can have a ball at the same time. So
Yeah.
who cares how many stars you got? If you got a guy like Luka on your team, it don't matter because he gonna have the ball in his hands the whole time.
Well, let's see how we round out outside of Luca.
Yeah,
But
but
man, some cash was doled out today.
I was just gonna say that.
I know you on Twitter, and you see all the memes. Like I got my son out here, outside, 3 years old. He in the driveway right now, putting in some work. You see all the memes, and man, some serious cash got doled out today. Starting off, I got the list right here. Of course, saw Bradley Beal
Mm-hmm.
uh, jump out there with the 251 over 5 years. You see Jokic get the highest salary, right? The highest salary in NBA history with 270 over 5 years. Sheesh. And Cat and Book just recently just read up for the 224 over 4 years. And then you got
What's that year over year
man, that's
average?
got to be like
56 million?
56 million. Dog.
No, that can't be 56. It's not
I
be
think it
40. Is it
is.
46?
No, I think it's 56. That's definitely 50s. Yeah, that's 56 million.
56 M.
Yeah. Devin Booker and Karl Anthony Towns, respectively, got
Man, we need to
224 over 4.
we need to hit the 24-hour fitness and get in shape, man.
Man, for these teams that's cash strapped, maybe they acquire starting their cash strapped to fill out the roster. Dog, I promise you, I can hit that corner 3
I know you can.
at a pretty decent clip. You just
Oh,
leave
I
me
know you
open.
can. Oh, I know
Yeah.
you can. I
Yeah,
know you
I
can.
think it's just wide open. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? I think I can hit it at a
I
pretty
believe
decent
it.
clip.
Sources close to Ryan
Yeah,
Samuel demands
yeah.
a trade. That's
And
me.
especially if I'm just getting up 500 shots a day. Yeah, yeah. But hey,
Yeah, no.
and then who we missing? Oh, Ja just re-signed for 5 years, 193, and what'd you say had the ability to get up to 231 if he makes certain incentives hit those benchmarks.
Which he will do. He
Which
will
it
hit
looks
those.
like he's well on his way to
Yeah,
do.
he's gonna hit those benchmarks next year. He'll hit it next year.
Yeah. And so man, that cash got doled out, and that was just the first wave. Still some names out there. You know what? We talked about it the other day, and still haven't really heard anything from it. And just waiting to hear some news from the Zach LaVine camp. I'm sure he's gonna give Chicago their fair shot at what's going on, but still haven't heard about him.
He'll re-sign with them.
Think so?
I think what his agent doing is playing the market perfectly. On the first day, I mean going into free agency, who were the top 3 free agents? You would
He
say?
was in that mix.
Yeah, he was probably the 3rd best, and it was probably what's my guy? Um, what's my guy that just resigned? Um,
That just resigned.
yeah, James Harden could opt out and become a free
Oh yeah,
agent.
yeah.
Bradley Beal,
Bradley Beal.
and then Zach LaVine.
Yeah.
So those are the top 3 free agents that I think that were out there. 2 of them re-signed with their team and they cleared it out on the first day of free agency. So what that does is immediately makes him the #1 free agent that's available.
Yeah.
So if Chicago is not already offering him the max, they're gonna have to come with that max now because now the cupboard has been cleared off and there's gonna be more suitors that would be looking to overpay a player similar to how New York Knicks did Jalen Brunson to get somebody like Zach LaVine.
Yeah.
And if Chicago offers that max deal, he'll stay in Chicago because who's going to turn down $200 million?
Hey, that's a pretty penny, man. That is
That's
a
a
pretty
pretty
penny.
penny.
That is a
I,
pretty penny.
I would be unhappy for 5 years to set up my family for the rest of
Man.
Earth for the rest of the time the Earth spins.
Yeah. Man, that's a lot of money, dude. And I was just talking to shout out to Amani. We was talking. I was like, dog, we just want one. Just give us. I just want 1 million. You know,
Yeah,
they got 200 plus of them things,
200 M's,
and not a very long time either.
Yeah, and then typically at the end of those contracts, don't nobody even want these guys.
Man, that is crazy.
Like,
That is crazy. Another interesting move. You saw DeJounte. I hope I'm getting his name right. DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte.
Yeah, made that move to the Atlanta Hawks.
Right.
I haven't really seen what did it come out to 3 first-round picks?
I saw 3 first-round picks.
3 first-round picks.
But they also got back Gallinari.
Yeah, I think they're gonna waive him though. It sounds like they're gonna waive him.
I saw that as well.
So it sounded like Rich Paul out here running things. Rich Paul apparently told the Spurs that he wasn't gonna re-sign with the Spurs. So hey, I get it. You know, might as well. I respect it. Not you might as well get at his highest value of an asset, get your return, and then join the tanking sweepstakes for Victor.
But and again, I hate to be Debbie Downer, but and I think DeJounte Murray is an extreme talent. I like him a lot. I think he tore his ACL. I was hoping that he came back and get to the caliber of player that he was prior to that, and he did.
Mm-hmm.
But these young dudes, man, they don't care about winning no more, man. Like they don't care about like legacies and all that stuff. They make. I'm not saying too much money because I don't want to sound like that kind of like hating dude, but I mean DeJounte Murray. I mean I know his girlfriend is like NBA YoungBoy's, little girlfriend, and now he wants to go to Atlanta. So it'd be interesting to see how good can Atlanta be if he's not focused on maximizing his talent in that team. Now I could be completely wrong. I could actually be Debbie Downer and reading the situation incorrectly, and he could be going to Atlanta to grow his profile. But there's a reason why Rich Paul told the Spurs that he wasn't interested in re-signing them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and this probably has more to do with the city and him having a limit on how much he can grow his brand.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, Atlanta has done a good job pretty recently drafting. So the 3 first rounders, like those, if they continue to hit the way they have, those would be obviously some nice pieces to the team. But he did just make an all-star team. So we'll see how it shakes out. And I think they just saw, the way Boston got up into Trey, being undersized, and I think that maybe it'll take Trey's game to the next level, playing next to a guy like that. They kept Huter, which is a nice piece. They kept John Collins, so they got better. Now 3 first-round picks, we'll see. You know what I mean, especially depending on what those picks turn into.
But if they're good, then those picks won't be.
That's what I'm saying.
Lottery picks.
They won't be lottery picks. So it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I think the Spurs just said, forget it. You're not gonna sign back. We might as well get what we can for you now. And I wouldn't be surprised if they join those. Yeah, that tanking sweepstakes for the Victor W. Tony Parker is already. I think he owns the team over in France that Victor W. plays for.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely gotta know all about him in and out. Of course they probably been on this guy for years. You know how they do with the overseas players. And so that'll be interesting to see. But man, I really look forward to things continue to shake out over these next couple of days, especially seeing where KD ends up and how that I heard Joel saying he want to see all options exhausted to try to bring him in. I guess Daryl Morey just got to listen to whatever he say, before he be like, I'm up out of here. But he said he wanted, and that would be crazy. And I'm willing to see waiting to see what happens with James. With him not opting in, and they're
Well, they said 400.
Okay, 300-400. These
So
boys be getting paid.
he turned down $47
Yeah,
million for 33 million,
33.
but he adds himself an extra 50 million guaranteed in his life.
And that dude there, he been
That's
he
a
been
that's a
reading
great
up.
that's a great decision. That's how you do that.
Yeah, in Houston, he been reading up. It was like he was reading up every 2 years.
Yeah,
I love to see how much he done already accumulated.
over
James was
$400 million, I
got
think.
to be at least. I think he got 200 from Adidas. So
300 from Adidas.
James is, he ain't even tripping about 10-15 million dollars no more.
And he at the strip club trying to make them girls rich.
What tax write offs?
Yeah,
Tax write offs.
man, I'm out here supporting, single
Yeah,
mothers.
yeah. So now I definitely did we miss anything before we tune in to day two of
Nah, only
starting bright and
question
early?
I do have a question for you. Last question I have for you.
Yeah,
Out of all the free agent signings,
yeah.
which I would ask you an easy question and say which one is your favorite pick, your favorite signing
Mm.
of the day. But my question is going to be, out of all the signings that you're aware of, which one will have the most impact on winning?
The most impact on winning. I mean, it's still early, right? We saw, a slew of picks. Signings. Are you counting the re-ups? Not really counting the re-ups. You're talking about
You
going
can
to a new
any
team.
any
I
any
mean, of course,
transaction.
keeping guys like Jokic home for the longevity. So I'm just gonna go off of people who going to a new home.
Okay,
Um, and that's still pretty early, but I really like PJ in Philly.
I like that.
You want to talk about impact on winning? I really like that pickup.
I like that.
Gives them some toughness, gives them a wing defender who can, when they want to double down on Joel or whatnot, can hit that corner three. And just anytime you can add championship DNA to your roster, you got better.
Mhm.
And so I really, really like PJ to Philly right now. But again, we'll continue to see what shakes day two going into tomorrow morning. I'm sure maybe the signers will continue to trickle in from Shams. I wonder if Shams and Woj got beef, if they saw each other.
That's another question that I could ask you. Who you think is the fastest with the Twitter
Shams was
handle?
shining today. Shams was
Man,
shining today.
man, I want my boy Chris Haynes to go ahead and get his finger game up faster,
Yeah,
man. I need him to
yeah.
compete, man. I'm rooting for you, Chris
Shams.
Haynes.
So of course, this whole you see in the title I put day one. I put it just so in quotations because I mean it's not really day one. This stuff has been happening. This
Yeah.
was settled. Shams clearly had about 10 in the draft section of his Twitter and fired them off at 60001. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? And just start firing them off. And I'm like, yeah, bro, you can't compete with that. This brother knew these 12 signings from the jump.
They gotta have a staff. I do not believe that Woj is literally typing these tweets.
Now, I think them ones probably not.
There
Probably
gotta be
not.
a staff. He
Yeah.
gotta be on the cell phone telling somebody 5 years,
Yeah.
193, Ja Morant, go.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah. That's very easy to do. Don't mess that up or you're
270,
fired.
5 years,
Yeah.
Jokic,
Yeah. I
go.
don't even have time to type it. Or
Yeah,
maybe they could just speak it into their phone,
that's
But,
possible.
I don't know. They probably
Probably
have an
is.
intern. They probably have an intern doing that.
Man, pay that brother or
Yeah. They
sister.
probably have an intern. You know what I'm saying? You work directly for Woj. That probably looks nice on your resume. You trying to get in that field.
Yeah, nah,
Yeah.
facts.
But yeah, man, we look forward to day two of free agency, seeing what moves are being made tomorrow. We'll definitely be right back, reacting to all the new news. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll be back.
And follow us on Twitter.